The Colmenares Case. The night of October 30 and the early morning of October 31, 2010 was crucial for the judicial investigation of the famous Colmenares case. It all started at the Penthouse nightclub at a Halloween party in the Zona Rosa sector of Bogotá. In that same place, Luis Andrés Colmenares, an engineering student, was found dead in the Virrey Park. Many versions were exposed in this Colombian case. Initially, they spoke of an accident, and then of a possible murder supported by strong evidence that was later controversially shut down by the defense. Laura Moreno, Jesse Quintero, and Carlos Cardenas, allegedly involved in this Colmenares case, gave countless versions that revolved around what the two young women said. Recreating the versions of Laura Moreno, Luis Andrés Colmenares left the disco in an altered way after a small argument with her, who was at that time his girlfriend. Colmenares went out to eat a hot dog and suddenly he began to run towards the Virrey Park, near 85th Street. Laura Moreno tried to reach him, but it was impossible and he fell into the Virrey pipe where it lost his trail. The body was not found until 16 hours later in a second inspection by firefighters. Everything seemed to indicate an accident as it was being recounted by those involved. However, a dream of Luis Andrés' mother, in which he tells her that the answer to this situation was in his own body, totally changed the direction of the investigation. They immediately exhumed the body, where they again made a complete study and determined that the body was brutally beaten because it had multiple wounds in the face. Now, in the version of the crime given by the prosecution and supported by all the technical tests carried out on the body, the place of the events, and the witnesses, it was revealed that Luis Andrés Colmenares was murdered by the bodyguards of Laura Moreno. Carlos Cardenas was an accomplice. Jesse Quintero, who covered up these facts, was also accused. Moreno and Cardenas were eventually charged with homicide, false testimony, and a cover-up. Relevant facts of this case. 1. The official fire department had conducted an exhaustive search for Luis Andrés Colmenares from 4 a.m. to 6 p.m. and the search was suspended since they received a high-priority call. They returned 3 hours later and firefighters found the body at a site they had already inspected. 2. You cannot get the records of the security cameras. Some cameras were damaged and others did not point to the address where the events occurred. 3. The body did not have just one wound, as reported in the official report. The coroner found 11 more wounds on the body. This did not present a pattern that will determine a foul blow that will cause all the injuries on the skull, which is a total mistake with the version of those involved. For this reason, the coroner declared that it is absurd to think it was by an accident. 4. Legal medicine said in the trial that although there had been a significant level of water in the Virrey pipe, it was not enough for the body to float, and that if Luis Andrés' body was immersed in the water for 16 hours or less, partially covered with it, the body should have been found in a flaccid state, and it was not. In addition, due to the coagulation of the body's blood and its lividity, the doctors announced that it was able to remain around 12 hours in the face-up position and it was found in the pipe in the face-down position. Conclusion. On October 7, 2014, the Superior Court of Bogotá District accused Carlos Cardenas of the crime of aggravated homicide against Luis Andrés Colmenares because of insufficient evidence. However, this version of Laura Moreno that allowed him to live had at least 7 contradictions of time, manner, and place. On February 20, 2017, the young women were accused for the death of Colmenares by the 11th Court of Knowledge of Bogotá, which found them not responsible for the shares that they had been charged with. Luis Andrés' father, Luis Alfonso Colmenares, not happy with the results of the investigation, assured, "I will not rest until there is justice in my son's crime." This was the story of Luis Andres Colmenares, found dead in Bogota on October 31, 2010 after a Halloween party with friends. For some, it was an accident and a case closed without guilty, but for many others, this was an unsolved case that did not have justice.